off track. The party on track right now, drifting, courtesy of many different varieties of builds, drivers, different classes. I'm Jared Deanna. Joining me, Mr. Kyle Heyer, a.k.a. Baby Kyle. We call them so affectionately and emphatically, and definitely love this young man, and he's definitely going places in the motorsports world and talking about things. GLTC earlier, we saw track battle, time attack, all these different varieties of motorsports going down. Concert this evening. What do you make of drifting and the variety of cars? Because we're seeing quite a variety.
We have almost 100 of them here this weekend.
Yeah.
76 drift cars. A lot of Nissan S-chassis cars, but BMWs. We got Toyotas in here, Ford, a couple Mustangs in the mix. All sorts of variety. There's even an Audi S4 out there, which he got the most track time of anybody last night shift drift. So really excited to see him get back out on track here shortly.
Yeah, so some of the notable names out here: Vaughn Gittin Jr., Chelsea Denofa, Adam LZ, Chris Forsberg, Dylan Hughes, Justin Pollock, Odie Bakshi's, Matt Field, who currently leads the Formula Drift Championship. Also, who else we got out there? We got Hurt from Hoonigan. I'm spacing on some people right now, but just a lot of different drivers out here putting down some fun runs. But again, yeah, Andrew Crutcher, who has a beautiful looking FCRX7. I just talked to him just a moment ago. We were supposed to see no, Ryan Turk was out here. JTP, Justin Pollock, Dean Carnage Carney, he's out there in the mix. Adam Kanapik, and yeah, so a variety of drivers. We're about to throw down here. There's the traditional start-finish, but we're going to focus on that back stretch as opposed to here, because that's where the start line is for our GRIDLIFE Drift. And thank you so much to all the sponsors that support us. What car, if you were going to build a drift car, Kyle, if you're going to build a drift car, what car would it be?
I feel like you know this answer already.
I do, but like, okay, I think it'd be a BRZ.
Be a GR86. I'd build a GR86.
GR86.
Really, the one that Dai Yoshihara's got is pretty close to what I would build. Yeah.
So LS Turbo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, because you want it to be reliable.
Yeah.
They don't come like that.
LSs are just reliable engines. You can just count on them.
I mean, better than the Boxer.
Okay. All right. I got you. You're looking for that high horsepower, big torque. And speak of Dai Yoshihara, yeah, another champion in the building. Michael S. So that's somebody I forgot, but obviously not forgettable at all. But we have 6 of the current top 10 drivers of the Formula Drift Championship, which is the premier international drifting sanction body. They are here in the building, PPIR. If you're tuning in, lazy Saturday, man, we saw some crazy weather across the country. Again, we saw Hurricane K off of the Southern California coast. There's D. Hughes. The Dozer coming in. And notably, Larry Chen. Did you see some of the photos that he took yesterday? Yeah. Bonkers.
They're crazy. And every season they're that crazy. I just wonder, though, Jared, as we get into this session, it was raining this morning. It's still a little damp out there. How does the temperature of the air, the temperature of the asphalt, and the moisture in the asphalt, does that affect how these drivers?
NBD. And honestly, it's we're not going to see as much smoke as we saw throughout this weekend and even going into last night. The shrapnel being thrown up. I like to say we're making steam, not smoke.
Okay.
It's tire attrition. So tires are actually going to hold together a little bit better. But as you said, it is slowly drying out. We might see rain here later this evening, and we talk about the lasers and the lights, and feel like Dr. Evil. We got lasers on drift cars, and they're about to throw down. But Larry Chen with his Toyota GR Supra, great looking car. He's got a scaffolding. I said that's an adult erector set. He got a different angle. He's always been kind of lower.
Yeah.
So with the photos, if you have not seen it, Larry_Chen_FOTO photo, spelling it a little uniquely, got a different perspective, and some of those which are really cool because I mean this dude, he's kind of changed the game as far as chase cars and photography and what he's doing, and his whole team. They've been feverish out here, man. They've been doing a lot of stuff with GRIDLIFE, and I'm seeing Larry actually wave over there on that far side, but should be really fun.
I've never seen that taller camera mount before. It's always, as you mentioned, it's always been that low front bumper shot. That's going to be a unique perspective, something that almost an FPV perspective. Usually when you get the drones chasing, you get that higher angle, kind of the Forza chase cam, you're following the car. So that'll be a really interesting perspective to see, and I'd love to get Larry's shots live sometime. That'd be a really neat.
Yeah, I mean, we're pulling them up. We're kind of selfishly looking at it, right? So, like with the stage in the back, Colette Davis is out here. Adam LZ, as I said. But the Falcon Tire boys looks like they're going to rip. I love this shot of Justin Pollock with that stage in the background. Dylan the Dozer Hughes, notably won in Orlando, which was, we talk about rain. Well, this gentleman's from the Pacific Northwest. He has a 2JZ powered BMW E36. He vies for the 2JZ over the LS, which is obviously, as you said, even a popular deal. You can see the Forged Stars go round, Falcon Tires wraps around that, and the Momo safety equipment keeping him safe. The fast orange E36 throwing a little horn out there. Larry Chen, there's the photos we were looking for. You can see those cannons. He's a seeker of light, getting all the angles, and his Falcon Tire bros in that chase position. We see Odie Bakshi's, Justin Pollock, and that of Matt Field.
Fans lining up trackside here. Some of the drivers from TrackBattle got a chance to ride yesterday. Peter Gramberg, who's currently second in our Falcon Club TR class, rode along yesterday.
Yeah, what do you think?
With Matt Field. He thought it was the most crazy thing he's ever done in his life,
really?
ride along in a drift car.
And he's currently second in that series. Yeah, that's awesome. So Alec Robbins, notably as well. He's from Minnesota. Going to see him at the end of the month. Got a Nitro Rallycross race out there. So Alec Robbins in that Facetto Nissan 350Z. Yeah, I saw some footage actually. There was a band, I don't know if you saw them last night. Did you see Avoid, kind of thrash metal?
Yeah.
They rode with Forsberg, but before I came over here, I stopped by Forsberg's booth to his display to talk to High Cotter, who did really well.
Yep.
Joshua Love, and that is Stuckey. I don't know who that was going from stage right, but Daniel Stuckey out front in the Jasper Keys BMW. That is Colorado's own Mr. Joshua Love. But talking with High Cotter, good qualifying for him. GLTC, we talk about the top 10 qualifying re-rack. But Forsberg, his manager Brandon came over, showed him a video. It's the three angles. You see kind of the front drivers, the back drivers, and where the car's at, and their reactions were so amazing. They get out of the car, and he says, that was one of the wildest things, craziest things I've ever done. So another testimonial. And then it cuts straight to him walking on stage and just, wow, opening up his lungs and singing for the crowd. There's that FC that we were talking about, and that's Crutcher, one of the scoundrels, or excuse me, the Vandals, a really cool crew. And the Drift Doctor in that E36. He literally is a doctor. He operates the Colorado Drift. But yeah, Crutcher, love the FCR except. Oh, look at that.
Here we go.
Nice teal and blue. Drift train. Again, the trio. Let's call it a trio with Larry Chen doing the documentation.
No, this is so cool. How about when you Formula Drift, you're typically running in tandems, right?
Right.
So how does adding that third car add to the dynamic? Because now there's a guy in the middle that has to, I mean, when you're leading, you're focusing all out front. When you're chasing, you're focusing all out front. What about the guy in the middle?
Yeah, I mean, in this scenario, Justin Pollock, it's a Justin Pollock sandwich with Odie and Field on either side of him. You really focus on that lead car. Whatever happens behind you, that's on them.
Yep.
And, obviously you're going to be aware, but you got to focus on that lead car. You really don't look in the mirrors. Even in competition, it's all about looking forward. Even in head-to-head battles, awareness is everything, and that's what we talk about. In Formula Drift, where you have one car leads, one car chases. They switch positions. The lead car is now the chase car, and the chase car is now the lead car. But it's keeping your eyes on the prize. Great looking S chassis. We saw a couple gals out here.
It's Colin Zielinski. I saw the name on the side of the car. That's a rare spot to find a driver name decal on there because they're usually not very big. But we've seen Colin Zielinski at GRIDLIFEs in the past, actually. And Zielinski joins us here in his 1998 Nissan S14. And it's a pretty one. Instagram Extreme CJZ for Colin Zielinski.
FYI, I believe we're going to cut this a little bit short because we're going to kind of salvage some tires for what we're going to see later is an all-out just run what you brung, and I use that even the most grandiose sense because we talk about GLTC, it's about lightweight, it's all these things. But we're literally going to see what you call it, track battle, time attack, road race vehicles going out there while drifting is going.
Yeah, we call them grip drift sessions, and what those essentially are is the drifters go out and do their thing, but it's open track. So instead of the back straightaway being where we queue people up, they queue up on pit lane, the drifters go out, they run a full lap, and anyone in a track battle car or an HPDE Advance that's here running a track day here this weekend can take passengers with them, and people can experience being on track with drift cars, following in the smoke. The drifters can chase unlimited track battle cars. It's just so unique. You don't see this anywhere else.
No, I've never seen it. I mean, I would say I talked about it last night. Gatbill. That's the only place I've really seen and ridden and experienced that at Rudskogen, this track in Norway. And I was with this dude Fleming Alm, and he was in an all-wheel drive Audi S4, like an older body style. Again, I want to say like a 91, 92, something like that. All-wheel drive, and we were threading the needle. The cars looked like asteroids coming towards us while we're in a space shuttle. And it was really exciting, but not here on U.S. soil have I ever seen anything like that with again, the grip and the drift on track at the same time.
Yeah, I think even Adam Jabay, our motorsports director, called it the best thing that GRIDLIFE does because it's just all of the things smashed together. We're all about motorsports inclusion, and part of that is just getting drifters, track battle drivers, GLTC drivers, HPD drivers at the racetrack together to start with. Putting them on the track together at the same time is a whole other level.
Horsepower hangs. Yep, so
It gives you a new respect, especially for grip drivers. You know, you talked about the drivers that don't necessarily understand the mechanics of drifting. They don't quite get it. When you go out on track and you're chasing a drift car, you have context for, wow, that guy's going faster than me sideways.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
The K-Series parts 86 out there, and that is Vaughn Gittin Jr., two-time FD champion, and Chelsea Denofa and Adam LZ.
Adam LZ broke his personal best this morning in track battle in the track modified or street modified category in his Evo. And
the Evo 5.
Yep, and not the Evo right now. He's in the Ford Mustang chasing the RTR boys.
Well, Adam LZ has joined the RTR camp this season. He's you know, getting more and more familiar with the Ford Mustang, and it just, I mean, the gentleman has driven everything under the sun, and his car collections, what some people would even admire as Hot Wheels, but he doesn't have 1/64th version. He has 1-to-1 version. He has full-size versions. His car collection's insane, from, you know, everything, like even just most recently he's building a CRX, but, you know, GT3s, R34s, S15s, and then Ford Mustangs, obviously. So, yeah, it's cool to see Adam LZ, like you talk about the diversity of drivers. Vaughn Gittin Jr. going from the dirt to the drift. And a good party train going, baby.
Certainly. Just saw Drift Riot roll on through. We talked about those guys this weekend. Ben, Brandon, and Zach, all with the Drift Riot teams, skating on through. 2 in S13s and 1 in a 350Z. And I love the trackside perspective. The VIP area is actually kind of elevated right next to the track and the stage. It's a perfect place to be. Those guys are getting their ticket money's worth there this weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, my wife and I were over there right before, you know, the drifting was going on. We didn't, you know, we didn't have to announce it. We just kind of hung out and getting sprayed with shrapnel, and Xavier Wolf went on, and it was an element, man. It's cool just seeing, again, just the excitement, enthusiasm from fans that come here for the music only, and then they, oh, we got an appetizer of ripping on track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, oh, let's get the full course meal here. And they get to see an act. And like I said, look, there it is. There's the stage off in the distance. That's where everybody's performing last night and tonight. And then just, you could see it. People are elevated up there on that VIP stage.
And there's our media. I see Matt Marcoux in there.
I see Matt, yeah.
Marcoux.
Got his RTR hoodie on.
Yeah, look at him go.
RTR boys.
But this is such a neat perspective. Again, you mentioned the people that come here that didn't even know this was going to happen, or maybe they did, but they didn't really know what the experience is going to be like. I told you last night I saw a guy walking through the Colorado Drift School area and just doing the mind-exploding emotion, because he just was like, I can't believe that this is a thing. And wow, there's a loud car right outside of the tent here. Yeah. I don't know who that was, but it sounded awesome.
You know, it's between smell-o-vision and, you know, getting that NAT audio. You know, we're kind of tour guides for this, but to truly experience it, you have to attend. And, you know, stay tuned. 2023 schedule. You know, if we're in your area, which South Haven, Michigan, that's a Gingerman Raceway. That's an awesome venue. Really, really love that. And they're two very different styles of events.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, my wife, this is her first GRIDLIFE, and she works in the industry, in the automotive industry, and even. Just anybody that's been to Gingerman, they say, oh, how is Colorado? It's different.
Yeah.
It's just got a totally different vibe, different essence.
And I think that's kind of cool, right? Because you kind of, if you're willing to travel for it, you pick which one you want to go to, or why not both? But they are different experiences. It's not the same thing transplanted from one side of the country to the next. 2023 schedule, tentatively December usually is when those get released. Typically at PRI is when we release our 2023 schedule. I expect some changes there, so I'm really excited. But I think the festival, at least Midwest Festival, it's going to look really solid for next year, probably the same weekend. We've been going there for how many years, Jared? It's 2014, 2015?
Yeah, quite a few years. That. Yeah, so, I remember meeting Chris Stewart at SEMA Show multiple years ago. There's Derek Madison, the pride of St. Louis, the gold diggers out here, E36, E46. But yeah, the GRIDLIFE team just comes from a Honda enthusiast standpoint, and then from a track and time attack and racing standpoint, but they also come from, you know, just music fans. So it's just a perfect melding. Derek Madison, who won in St. Louis, his home track at Worldwide Technology Raceway. He competes in the Pro Spec Championship, the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship. So D-Mads, Derek Madison, good to see his car up and running. We'll see him in St. Louis next weekend, Utah Motorsports Campus, a new venue for the Formula Drift Championship. So D-Mads, Derek Madison will be there with his other Formula Drift Pro Spec and, of course, Pro competitors.
Oh, missing a right front headlight there, but no mind.
With
don't need it.
One headlight.
A little bit of sideways action here. So, again, the transitions back and forth. This racetrack is actually pretty well built for drifting. They've got that long straightaway, get your speed up, and then it's a 180-degree turn where you can do reverse entries. I've seen it happen. And then you're manging just a little bit before you're kind of linking together turns 5, 6, 7, 8, and into 9, and then you're basically cooling it down for the front straight. But it's got a lot of dynamicism, a lot of direction change in a very short distance.
I remember, so again, Casey Cole, he organized an event here ages ago, and Turk came out, and that's the first time I ever attended it. This is over 10 years ago. It was Colette Davis. Colette Davis rocking the Hot Wheels signature logo. I know Colette, big Barbie fan. She runs the neon. She's got some bright wheels, and all her cars just have that certain fluorescent hit. So Colette, a host of mine on Hot Wheels Legends, so it's good to see her out here shredding. They just got back from Ireland, her and her man Adam LZ. But Ryan Turk, we're out here for another drift event, and so pit road on that front straightaway, Turk came off the bank and down and probably did 100+ mile/hour drift and dragged the wall. Can't remember what car it was, but yeah, it was pretty sick.
Yeah, this place is a playground.
Here we are, the Ultimaniac, and some of my friends are like, what is that? Yeah, that's a Nissan Altima unlike any other Altima. That is a purpose-built vehicle. It houses a GTR engine under the hood. It can dyno up to 1,600 horsepower, but this is a purpose-built party car with Valvoline and Nissan and the Forsberg Racing Camp, and pulls it right back in. It's got 4 seats, so more smiles for more miles with that Valvoline Ultimaniac.
Yeah. It's a really neat car, again, purpose-built for this exact thing, exactly. And I mentioned yesterday that in the rear seats, right, kind of in the bulkhead between the front and rear, there's a secondary digital dash, so you can see the gear, you can see the speed, all that stuff, the oil temperatures and pressures. You really get the full experience without having to be the one with the skill to be
and also, you know, it plays whatever movies, if it's Jurassic Park, Avatar, it's kind of like flying.
Frozen.
Frozen, big. Big. Do you want to build a smoke man? Yeah.
We're building plenty of smoke men here. Last night it was wild. The wind was kind of high, and you'd see a car go through, and the wind would just blow at 20 miles an hour across the entire paddock. The whole place was filled with smoke.
Yep.
You can't not know that it's happening when we're drifting around here.
Yeah, and you know, I left a little bit early there, and the smoke just carries over to the freeway. It's pretty awesome.
Saw Galen roll on through. Again, I talked about him the other day, how he works with the Random Vandals race team and IMSA and SRO, and you know, again, very chill dude. I went over and talked to him. He was on his laptop working on his livery, and got it put together and out there having fun. I can't remember the name of this fine gentleman here.
Trying to recall.
But it is the cleanest.
A white S14.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
classic.
It's just, it's actually
like
the cleanest. Like, you could eat off of the side of that thing.
Yeah, I like it. Just I believe Origin Bumpers just has kind of that clean, kind of a, you know, mid 2000s, you know, 05, 06, 07 kind of look. So it definitely has that kind of J aesthetic. Don't know the wheel setup here. You can see tucking.
I don't know if he coats the thing in oil before he goes out there so that nothing sticks to it, but I don't know how you clean the rubber off something that clean.
Just shellacked it.
It's like wearing a white shirt and working on a diesel. It's like
that's how you go, bro. Just gotta have some confidence. There's your Drift Riot boys you're talking about.
Ben, Zach,
tail whips.
Brandon, yep. And working their way through the 350. Again, that is Drift Riot Zach behind the wheel, and trading positions there a little bit.
That's something I'd really like to incorporate, and Chris Stewart, you know, kind of the head Willy Wonka here of this chocolate factory that is the smoke factory and race factory. We talked about kind of creating, you know, kind of either a tandem or a trio competition. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, part of the fun of this is that there's no stress from competition, but I think it'd be fun to throw a little fun in the mix and offer some chill prizing. You know, first burger off the grill. You know. Throw it in there.
Leave the dad jokes to me there, Kyle. Sarah Haro out there in her Ford Mustang. She, it looks like, I thought that was Knappik. It is not.
The white
doctor, Levi. And there she is. There's Sarah Haro. Sarah Haro, definitely a busy gal. She's, you know, she works with a bunch of different teams. She's been drifting for quite some time. Got a few more moments left of
Larry Chen chasing.
Yeah, great looking Origin. Again, that Origin Lab S13, that's very J looking. Saw them rolling in. Met him Driving in, I believe it was Nick, if I can recall. Gave him a send it sticker.
Linking this together.
Put it right on the whip.
Linking this very neatly. And this is, again, these are the shots that you're going to find on GridLife Official's Instagram. You got to check GridLife Official and find all these clips post-event. Larry Chen stuff makes a lot of the views post Alpine Horizon.
Well, when you got a car, you got the look at that, nice job. So the RTR boys are joined by Dean Carnage Carney in that Hyper NFT Dodge Viper, throwing a little brown roost out there out back. Dean Carney coming to play. Adam LZ gained some ground there. Look at that.
One of these is not like
proximity.
the other.
Yeah, right. Mustang, Viper.
Yep. Luke McGrew had a Viper that he ran in Time Attack for a long time, and he always called it his Dodge Viper. Viper. But what a neat
fangs.
quartet here.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a thing of beauty right there. The trio of the RTR cars. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Vaughn, Chelsea. Look at Dean jumping up.
Don't
jumping
forget
up to
me.
the back of LZ's Mustang.
All right, peeling onto pit lane. I think that might be.
Are we going to call it?
That might be it. I mean, there might be a few more gridded up on the back straight, but I can't quite see from here. But I know we are about 8 minutes away from rolling GLTC. Here comes a couple more drivers, but
Drift Doctor.
Again, the GLTC guys were telling me yesterday the track was a mess after the drift sessions previously. So there's certainly a challenge going wheel-to-wheel racing after all the clag and rubber gets all over the race course, but just adds another dimension of complexity to a weekend that has already got a lot going on. Here come the Drift Riot guys again. At least one of them, Zach, out front there.
Zach Monjing just working all the course, man. Whoa, his boy kind of got thrown off, but looks like he's going to go for that pass, go for that inside. We're not looking for the pass in drifting, but this is an expression session. Drift Riot living up to their name.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting, as you mentioned, a fun format to try would be just one long continuous drift, but you have to swap somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, so I would say we set minimum, call them tricks, call them, changing of positions, maybe 360.
Yeah.
One of the drivers has to complete a 360 at some point of the entirety of the course, start to finish, and they need to alternate positions at least twice.
Yeah.
And then what's that X factor, and how are they in unison and also proximity?
Right. So tell me a little bit about the scoring in Formula Drift, because I know we've got the clipping points, we've got the clipping zones, but how is the proximity judged? Is that all judgment, or is there any kind of electronics that are involved with that?
So the judging format is line, angle, and style. The three judges, there's Dai Oshihara, former champ, taking that LS turbocharged Subaru BRZ to another level, just keeping it a demo car. But so there's a line, angle, and style judge. They alternate every round of competition. You don't maintain a line judge through the entirety of 8 rounds of FD. And I'm only speaking about Formula Drift in regards to that. But it's kind of, there's different iterations universally, but most notably, I would say that people utilize the Formula Drift rule book and kind of standardization more than any other. So line, you're judging the where the cars are at. Are they hitting those clipping points and zones? Angle, that's the rate to angle, how quick they're getting there. Are they making corrections? And then style, that comes down to how you're doing it, how you're executing it overall. And then also within that, there's kind of that X factor of like, whoa, that was just done in such a unique way, and how you executed it. So that's judging. That's in our format now, as I call it, the not so great 8. We take the lower 8, kind of similar to your top 10. But we take the not so great 8, and we could have 36 drivers. So essentially, 4 of those drivers are going to be watching from the sidelines. So we'll take, again, that 26 from whatever to, take those numbers, and they fight for those bottom spots. But then when it comes to the essence of Formula Drift, we got 2 cars on the track at the same time. 1 car leads, 1 car chases. The lead car adheres to hitting those clipping points and zones, just like they're qualifying. Chase car needs to utilize that lead car as a moving clipping point. So wherever that lead car goes, the chase car needs to follow. They'll switch it up. Chase car's lead car. They go through the course. It's either driver A, driver B, or one more time. All
right, so a lot of judging involved with that. But again, I think there's a lot of drivers that really look forward to coming here just because they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
They just go out, they can hang it out sideways and do fun stuff with their buddies. And as a spectator experience, I mean, here, I think this is what draws people to the fence, right? There's a lot of things going on here this weekend, but the most people that are up against the fence, I think you're watching the drift stuff and getting as close to the action as you can possibly get.
Great looking livery there, pit and paddock. Shout out to Woo, Sam Sam Dew, excuse me.
Yeah, it fits that chassis really well. I think the way the lines flow and everything, the livery fits right on it. Love the roof detail as well. Under wrapped part of race cars usually.
Yeah.
The roof.
Right.
You see it a lot now. You got a lot of drone coverage, man. You got to paint up your roof, put a number on it or
numbers,
something.
Get the logos. Yeah, that's a.
NASCAR
I believe a John Sabal designed livery. I know he's done Dai Yoshihara's liveries for quite some time. So, shout out to again Sam Dew, Pit and Paddock, John Sabal liveries.
Looking really clean there. So when you talk about corrections,
yeah,
are they watching the steer wheels? Are they watching the hands inside the car?
Yeah, I mean, like the scenario now, we can't see inside the car.
Right.
But if it's a pro competition car, traditionally they won't even have windows. It's open, so the cockpit doesn't, the smoke actually gets out. Just like Vaughn's car.
But less corrections is better, right?
You're watching the front wheels.
Yeah.
You could see also it is mandatory that on the rear wheels you either have some sort of indicator on a wheel spoke, or you actually have lettering of, say, your tire sponsor or whatever you kind of want to put on the side of it. Traditionally, you put, like, in this case, Nitto on the sidewall. And what that's going to do is that's going to assist in if the driver is pulling handbrake, because once that stops, that's handbrake.
Right.
And the judges actually do not want to see much handbrake at all, if any at all. If they do it, it's a quick yank, and that's it. If you're holding on, that means you've made major mistakes and you have not chosen the right line.
Gotcha.
So you ideally want to set it and forget it. I mean, you go and initiate, bang, boom, you get right to angle. Your front wheels are locked and loaded. You're not shimming the wheel at all. It doesn't matter where your hands are at, but obviously you're moving your hands, your wheels are moving.
Right.
Every action has a reaction. So, and then also again, like I said, with that handbrake, they don't want to see any at all. Also, throttle control. They don't want to hear the vehicle. So you're really utilizing all your senses, outside of obviously taste and smell.
Yeah.
But but you can hear that exhaust note, and they don't want to hear them on the rev limiter. They actually want them to have good throttle control.
They're picky.
Yeah, they're judging. They're judging.
Your wheels can't stop. You can't look funny. You can't move you can't steer the wheels. Once you set it, you got to forget it. You can't rev the engine too high. You can't rev it too low. Can't stall it.
I mean, what do you want? I mean, traditional racing. Get to the checker line first.
Yeah, exactly.
Checkered flag, excuse me, and checker line in this case. Yeah. But overall, our GRIDLIFE drift session, always awesome. And again, we're going to have the grip drift later. But what's up next as far as our GRIDLIFE party?
Yeah, GRIDLIFE Touring Cup Race 3 is up next in just a couple minutes. We'll take a very short break. We'll be right back with GLTC Race number 3. Coverage of GRIDLIFE Alpine Horizon is brought to you by Valvoline, the official motor oil of GRIDLIFE. Momo, made in Italy since 1964. FCP Euro, every part you buy is guaranteed for life. eBay Motors, let's ride. Falcon Tires, the Falcon Azenas RT660 is the official tire of Club TR. And K&N, Performance Unlimited.
And we're racing. The height counter pushes Jensen along the exit of turn number 4. This win, it's the big slide. It's time to go racing at GRIDLIFE Midwest. Hill side by side. O'Gorman around the outside now for the top spot. Tom O'Gorman goes to lead. 3 wide for the lead.
This is great racing, folks. This is what this series is all about.
Back live for GRIDLIFE Live at Pikes Peak International Raceway for GRIDLIFE Alpine Horizon. I'm Kyle Heyer. I'll be joined by Jared DeAnda here in just a couple minutes. We've got Cerise Taylor on pit lane in a few minutes as well, but getting prepped for GRIDLIFE Touring Cup race number 3 from Pikes Peak International Raceway. We had the top 10 shootout this morning. On top of the board for qualifying was Tom O'Gorman on those Bridgestone RE71 RS tires. Went to the top. Andy Smedegard, his team owner and teammate, will start alongside him. Brian Heitkotter is going to roll off in third in the number 5 for Forsberg Racing. An excellent drive for Brian. Yesterday's races were both won by Jeremy Swenson, who hadn't won a race since COTA in February. 2 for 2 so far this weekend, but he will start 4th in this third race of the weekend. After we complete this race, the finishing order will set the grid for our 4th and final race of the weekend with a random invert of the top quarter to a third of the field. So we could see, with 25 cars here this weekend, we could see an invert really anywhere from 5 to 9 cars. I think we'll probably see somewhere in there as our invert. So drivers will not know that invert until after this race is over, and they will not be able to race to the invert, as they say. O'Gorman, starting on pole, though, is on Bridgestone tires that are a little bit older than the tires that Jeremy Swenson put on yesterday. So we'll see how they hold up. Messaged me yesterday about how the tires were kind of deteriorating over the bump in turns 1 and 2. Let's have a look at our eBay Motors track preview and get a look at how this racetrack flows around the 1.3 miles of this circuit. 9 corners at this racetrack, Pikes Peak International Raceway. It all starts with a run down the front straight into turn 1. That's NASCAR Oval turn 1. Right in the middle over the pedestrian tunnel, there's a gnarly bump that drivers will have to navigate in order to keep their cars straight and tidy. Then off of turn 1 into the kink at turn 2. It's a left-hand kink, then hard on the binders at the turn 3. You're entering that corner about 115 to 120 miles an hour. Then the run to turn 4. That will take you down to second gear. Keep it tight against the curb before you track all the way out to the edge of the road. Entering turn 5, 6, 7, and 8, a slalom section, back and forth, climbing curbs, airborne, sideways, all of the above before heading through turn 8 and 9 to complete a lap. It will take you about 1 minute and 3 seconds around here if you're cooking, and it will be about 12 minutes of racing, 12 to 15 minutes of racing that will kick off here in just a couple minutes. Look at all of the clag trackside there on the right, just where the cones end. That is all rubber particles from the drift cars we just saw a couple of minutes ago. Talked to some of the drivers, and they said that was an insane obstacle to have to navigate for GLTC drivers. All the rubber all over the road. That is something that drivers will have to deal with on the opening warm-up laps. They're going to have to weave their tires back and forth, get the heat in the tires on this pretty brisk day, about 65 degrees outside, and get the rubber off of their tires for the start of the green flag. Now joined by Jared DeAnda. Jared, welcome back. Getting prepped for our third race.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really excited about this and see what goes on. And, you know, obviously all the anticipation, and what's really interesting is it bears repeating, because for those that are just going to kind of join us on, it's called game day, right? This is when the trophies are given out at the podium. But overall, you know, we've seen every weather, man. We've seen every season. And now with, like you said, puddles are starting to dry out. You know, we saw the drifters. I think that might actually benefit GLTC in this scenario.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. Here comes Cerise Taylor down in the pits with Tyler Starr.
Gotta bring the vibes, gotta bring the energy. All right, guys, yeah, I'm here with Tyler Starr. Now, in this second race, what do you expect to see out of the car and the other drivers?
Yeah, I expect everybody to keep it clean. You know, we're in the mid-pack right here, and that's where things can get a little dicey. These guys around me, I know them. I was talking to Jeremy right there before the race. We all respect each other. We try to, you know, give a good show, but, you know, give everybody room and not try to wad up a car. So my car's been really good all weekend. I'm hoping to bring it home and, you know, book another weekend success, you know?
They're good.
Absolutely. All right, well, go out there, have fun, and drive hard, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cerise. Tyler Starr sitting on pit lane. He's out of Roanoke, Texas. Good to have him here this week. And this is one of the closer events to him. And we talked about, you know, schedules and the challenge of getting to the racetrack. Right. And this is a place that it's not really a home track for him. That would probably be Circuit of the Americas down in Austin. But Tyler is really excited to be here. He's got a K-swapped BRZ, which is kind of a popular swap in the time attack world. We have a couple of them now in GLTC. His is one. Pervez Randilia is another. We saw him at Mid-Ohio. But Tyler's a great dude to chat with. And he'll be rolling off starting in 12th in this race, right alongside Jeremy Boysen in the number 40 Porsche Cayman.
Kyle, what's your stance on, you know, we talk about, you know, automotive inclusion and motorsports inclusion. What is your take on, obviously the drivers that are here, they want to invest in GRIDLIFE. and you're a motorsports fan in general. What's your take on GLTC and its kind of traction, no pun intended, in the motorsports world?
Well, you know, we call it a touring car series because we tour not only with across the country, but also with touring cars. So there's a couple different things there, but you know, it really has made traction in the grassroots motorsports world. It's a class that you can bring a car in from other series and without too many modifications can slot right in. But it has made noise not only because of its competitiveness, but because of its cleanliness. We don't, and I really
like out of
would to
respect,
knock on.
is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's because this is
To mutual
grassroots
respect.
racing. We don't. Bodywork's not fun and it's expensive. So
Yeah.
the goal is to not hit your buddies, and that is reiterated in every single driver's meeting that we have, and we do a really good job of it. But that's the expectation, and Adam Jabay says it. The expectation is perfection.
I like that. That's good. That's a really good motto. And you being a Kyle Busch fan, let's talk about. No, I had to throw that in there. Who's the Kyle Busch here in GLTC?
Oh, I don't know. I think they're all better behaved than Kyle Busch. Probably.
Okay,
I'll say
fair.
that. But
No, Kyle, all joking aside, Kyle, I walk here into the booth and he's getting all the updates of what's going on with Kyle Busch and racing. So
there's
that's,
news.
That's a testimony. That's a testimonial and a testament to you being a motorsports.
Yeah, I live, breathe it. I mean, I think there's most days in the summer, you know, you can find me watching a race, whether it's something online that's broadcasted worldwide, or if I'm, you know, on the couch on the weekend watching IndyCar, NASCAR, IMSA, all the above. You just you can't peel me away from it.
That's good.
So I'm glad that we race as many times as we do, just because I get a chance to watch my friends race, and that's what makes it so personal for me. Is
you're friends with Kyle Busch?
Well, I wish.
Okay.
I've met him before.
You've grown up with him. That's what we attribute to. I see my boy Chris Mady from K&N. Shout out to him. But
there you go.
Yeah. So again, you're invested. You like this, and all your friends racing.
Well, that's the thing is when I'm normally watching racing, it's easy to get wrapped up in the politics of it because it's just you're watching it, you're disconnected from it. Here in GLTC, all of these guys I like. All these guys I'm go up and hug when I see them here this weekend. So the goal is to really have fun with your buddies, and there is a high level of competition. Make no mistake, this is, I think, the hardest grassroots racing in North America for a variety of reasons. Ask Tom O'Gorman, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
But I think with that difficulty comes also the realization that you're racing with people that respect each other, and that's not always the case in other motorsports.
I think that's great, and I really appreciate that insight, and it does just contribute to the overall family effort, and we're seeing, you know, all these GRIDLIFE fans just peruse the paddock and going by and supporting sponsors that support the series, and we're seeing down there in the lower bottom right, Momo, you know, Hawk Performance, you know, FCP Euro, Valvoline, Falcon Tires, and these are people that believe in that kind of messaging and that sort of, you know, eBay Motors. I mean, these are large companies that have, you know, either endemic or non-endemic. You know, ECU Master. It's great to see just the variety of vehicles, personalities, and just like you said, tour and touring cars.
Yep.
So yeah.
And I think the variety of vehicle is something that we've touched upon, but you can really run anything you want. I know you've seen that Midwest Festival. We have a minivan that runs with us, the HMA guys. And
Speaking
how
of
about
minivans?
minivans?
Great segue there. Great segue.
It's almost like I planned that.
Exactly. A beautiful looking Odyssey. I'm a sucker for a minivan if it's done right with that J appeal. And you're saying this was voted on by the fans saying, hey, you know, which vehicle do you think should be?
Yeah, this was the one that won our eBay Motors competition to select the safety car here this weekend. So it did win an award and a little cash prize to go with. Actually, not cash prize. It was a eBay Motors prize that they're going to get. So either way, cool stuff. Yeah, let's have a look at our starting lineup for this race. Set off of the top 10 shootout this morning for the top 10. Tom O'Gorman and Andy Smedegard from ASM share that first row. Trainer 2, Trainer 3 on that front row. Brian Heitkotter from Forsberg Racing out of Fresno, California. Jeremy Swenson out of Moorhead, Minnesota rolls off in 4th alongside Heitkotter in row 2. Row 3 is Eric Jensen out of Trophy Club, Texas, and Zach Lavoie, the number 42 out of Birmingham, Alabama, in his 2001 Honda S2K for ASM. Jake Jornstein from Myriad Motorsports and Michael Hilo share row number 4, that's 7th and 8th position for the 23 and 224. Row 5, Felipe Gonzalez from Myriad Motorsports and Jackson Jensen. Maverick rolls off in 10th in the number 527. Row number 6 is Jeremy Boysen in the number 40 Porsche Cayman out of Adel, Iowa, and Tyler Starr, who we talked to a moment ago, starts 12th in the 2013 BRZ. Row 7, Hans Horpedal from Myriad Motorsports in the number 77. Julio Crispin starts 14th in his number 911. Nissan 350Z. Fiona Liu starts in 15th in the 888 Honda S2000. Colton Wade in a backup car this weekend. His 2002 Acura RSX starts in 16th. Brandon Peterson, first GLTC weekend, starts 17th. Jacob Poole starts 18th in his number 88 Honda Civic. Row 10, Troy Castile starts in 19th place in his 1995 BMW 330. Savannah Little rolls off on the outside of row 10 in 20th. Joel Morrison starts 21st in his 05 Honda S2000 for 9 Lives Racing and Buried Motorsports. Nick Steniford, hometown boy, rolls off alongside him in 22nd. Wes Case rolls off in 23rd as the field heads up onto the back straightaway for the final time. Lights on the safety car have been extinguished, and that means we're going racing next time by.
Oh, man, super excited. Let's see if Tomo can deliver, you know, with Jerry just being so, Jeremy Swenson being so dominant the first few races. We have ideal conditions. You know, you got to think about the air is cold, it's dense. So we're at high elevation. They need all the density of that air that they can get. And you can see him warming up the tires, putting some heat into them. The ASM 1 and 2. You got any thoughts?
I do. Well, Tom messaged me again after the shootout. So what he is doing, what Tom is doing with the team today is they're actually swapping tires again. Tom is going to be on Kumo tires for this race. Andy and Zach will be on the Bridgestone tires. So switching things up, we'll see how it works out for Tomo on the Kumos. But Brian Highcutter watching that number 5 Forsberg Racing car. That's the car I think is going to win the race down to turn 3.
Yeah, we saw that earlier today. He dove in so aggressively and just got after it into that turn 2. And this is where they get bunched up. This is exciting. Yeah, Kyle's rubbing his hands together. If you could see him, he looks like a cricket ready to throw some noise out there. And his noise is coming from not from his legs like a cricket, but from his mouth. As Kyle Heyer, voice of Grid Life, out here about to throw down. There is our leaderboard, of course. Where it starts, we'll see where it lands. 12 minutes, 12-ish minutes to see. About a minute per lap. Here we go. We're going to see a green flag, are we?
Here we go. Green flag flies. We're racing at Pikes Peak International Raceway. Tomo elected for driver's right this time through. He wanted the high side. Highcutter 3 wide on the outside. Here comes Brian from Forsberg Racing. He gets it done, goes to the lead through turn 1.
Really well done there by Highcutter. Looks at that, and let's see if does he dive down, how aggressive he's going to be. Yesterday he had brake issues. He said that brake pedal was pushing on concrete, but now he's figured it out. He says they changed the vacuum line. Obviously a testimonial to it earlier today.
Oh, he's wide.
And there he goes again.
Oh, way off course.
Issue.
And the leader off track in turn 3. Again, he can't get the thing slowed down. And back to the lead goes Andy Smedegard. Jeremy Swenson now second. O'Gorman third. Eric Jensen right behind in fourth. My heart breaks for Brian Highcutter.
Oh, man, again, just talked to him right before I walked over here, talking about drift and then going in. And he said he changed the vacuum line, the team. Absolutely gutted. That's just got to be absolutely gut-wrenching. But let's talk about our leader. Tomo is, I believe Tomo's up front.
No, it's Smedegard now.
Smedegard.
Swenson slots into second place. Now it's ASM sandwich with Swenson meet in the middle here as we come across the start-finish line. There's your lead. It's about 6/10 of a second. Best lap for Andy. Jeremy Swenson goes second quick. O'Gorman, Lavoie, Jensen, and Jensen, both father-son duo, 5th and 6th as they come across the line.
Look at the paddock filling up. The fans are here. I'll tell you what, this big venue has been absolutely tremendous. Thank you so much to all the fans. But Smedegard out front, Swenson in second, and Tom O'Gorman sitting in third. There's so much race left, man. And right to start out like that, what a bummer.
Yeah, certainly. But here comes Swenson now. He's got the thing geared up behind him, the Viking Performance Corvette on the tailpipes of Smedegard. Again, Andy is on those Bridgestone RA71 RS tires that are new to the series, newly allowed as of Mid-Ohio. Swenson on new tires as of yesterday, chasing him down. It's not Tomo he's battling today, it's team owner, ASM, Andy Smedegard.
Look at the grip the cars are getting. It's quite a juxtaposition of what we saw this morning. Looks like they were drifting, not gripping, and we will see that later. Again, grip and drift all at the same time. But right now, Smedegard, the tires seem to be the big equation here, right?
It seems like it. Across the line this time through. Jeremy Swenson is actually a little bit quicker that time through. He goes purple on the leaderboard that time around. So Andy leads the way, but Jeremy closes the gap. Highcutter improves up to a couple positions on that second lap. 10th place now for Brian as they head down into the infield this time. Swenson closing in. But look at Tom on the brakes, how much time he made up there.
Yeah, he really gained some ground there. Look how he gets right to the back of Swenson. I really want to see what color he ends up after this lap because I think obviously he's going to go purple. I think he's gaining some ground. So Swenson not purple because of the vehicle, but because of his actual driving prowess.
Yes, the fastest lap of the race is the purple. Fastest personal lap last time around is Andy Smedegard. There's Jackson Jensen in the behind as well. Jackson battling his father for 5th place right now, a little bit behind. Zach Lavoie is not too far behind Tomo either. So 3 ASM cars inside the top 5.
Smedegard taking the high line. Tomo not going all the way up there. Swenson almost mimicking Smedegard's race line. Let's see who comes out. Smedegard with the fastest up until this point. Yes, he does. He holds on to it, and that's exactly what he needs to do. So well done there by Smedegard. Swenson, you can see him just sweating him.
102 flat, incredible time, but here comes Jeremy Swenson. Here comes the Viking Performance Power side by side into turn 2, Jared.
Woo! What's going to happen here? Smedegard, does he block? Oh, and Swenson takes that inside line, but keep this. You talked about, body work is expensive. You want to see some respect. We talked about the respect of each other. Seems like they keep it clean, but I'll tell you what, Smedegard might be in that second place position, but watch him maneuver. This is where the S2000s are going to get the big purple leader of Swenson's vehicle.
Yeah, Andy tried to get a little overlap there through turn 3. He couldn't quite get it to stick. Then he tried again in turn 4, couldn't stick there. Can he go to the inside at turn 8? Thinks about it, sees the door open for a moment, but he's going to have to stay in the slipstream now of Jeremy Swenson as they climb onto the banking again.
We're only 4 minutes into this race, and it's such a quick lap. But it's high speed and then tight, high speed. It's really great. Jeremy Swenson with the fastest lap, and obviously proof positive. That back stretch, dives into that turn 2. I'm really surprised they did not have contact.
Yeah, that was very, very well done. These drivers have raced around each other quite a bit. O'Gorman's falling way back now, almost 2 seconds back from the leaders, as Jeremy is going to try to stretch the lead as he did the other day. Again, Tom on the brakes is just incredible to watch. How about behind him, though, that battle queuing up between Eric Jensen and Zach Lavoie.
That's right.
That's for 4th place in the back.
Highcutter jumped up to 6th.
Wow, here comes Brian. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get back to the front, but he easily could get a top 5, closing back in on Jackson, or actually Eric Jensen. So this battle, it's going to be a 3-horse race for 4th place rather.
Yeah, some amazing position changes here. There we get a quick look at Tomo, and there's Lavoie and Jensen, as you said, that 4th and 5th spot. But we're looking at Swenson, who just seems to be gaining more ground. But is he going to overcook the tires? Smedegard maybe kind of, is Swenson playing chess? Is he kind of overcooking it? Smedegard, is he playing? No, the other way around. Is he playing checker? Regardless, Uno, draw 4. I don't know. Go fish.
Brian Highcutter just ran the fastest lap of the race. How about that? Jackson Jensen improves a little bit this time. Here's a battle. Joel Morrison in the 9 Lives Racing Myriad Motorsports car, passing one of the other Myriad Motorsports machines. I think that's Jake Jornstad, and here comes Jensen on the outside of Lavoie. Lavoie goes defensive.
That ASM S2000 holds him off, and that's the right line there. You can see swinging out wide and then coming on in. Let's see this, though.
Here comes Eric up the inside preferred line here for turn 4. Door to door. LSFRS versus K-Swap S2000. Now side by side in the infield. I love this. Here we go.
Jensen goes for that rumble, and you can see Lavoie and Jensen looks like might be shutting the door on Lavoie.
And Jensen's got it.
Yes, he does. Well done there. Again, this is where that LS is going to come into play as opposed to the nimble vehicle. Brian Highcutter up to 6th with that purple. Again, fastest lap. He's got something to prove. We talked about this yesterday. The Bulldog in him says, hey, when you're angry, some people look at that. Highcutter, again, 101. So that's back-to-back purple fast laps. So Highcutter, look, he gains another position, right?
Just went right by Lavoie.
Just like Lavoie, like he's standing still. The Bulldog, the teeth are out, and he's going for it. Sometimes angry drivers, they might overdrive. Right now, I feel like he's doing everything he needs to do that he unfortunately didn't do on that first lap.
There he goes, tucks it in nicely for turn 3, and now chases Eric Jensen in the 184. He's in the top 5 now after that pass on Lavoie. He just needs another one to get up to 4th place, but could he get up to O'Gorman? That's a little bit tall of a task. I wouldn't count it out, though. Still some time left to go, but the battle is on for 4th place.
Wow, how exciting. Again, we're seeing, on the leaderboard, we're seeing them. We could see Smedegard, losing some ground to Swenson, who's oh so fast. But the big battle here, the gentleman that started out the lead in that first lap, in the first turn, and then going to turn 2, unfortunately cooked it and went down to 10th, and now has worked his way back up to 6th.
Make that 5th, and it could be 4th by the end of this lap. Look at the slipstream. And here he goes, blowing by Eric Jensen, uses his slipstream, and dives to the bottom of the racetrack through turn 1.
And that, we talked about weight of vehicles at LS, BRZ compared to, a Nissan 350Z. They're running the VQ engine under that hood. So let's see how he handles this. Look at this, toe-to-toe, wheel-to-wheel. Looks like Highcutter. He's got to be
too deep.
He's got to be a little nervous on his brakes, right?
Yeah, I think you got to be a little tentative there. But they did turn 3 side by side. How do you do that, Jared?
That's great. I mean, that's really good racecraft, and that is good respect. To your point earlier, talking about wheel-to-wheel racing, body work. You know, you want to keep it clean, man. You know, they got another race in the overall championship and in the season. Highcutter danced with the rumble strip.
That was a little tight and dicey. They're still door-to-door. Look out. Almost a touch there. Zach Lavoie's back in the mix now. Goes to the inside of Jensen at turn 8. Almost a touch there, but Highcutter gets it done. Passes Jensen. He's up to 4th place now.
And, you know, Highcutter on this straightaway looks a little bit of Swenson-ish, if I could say, like kind of a term, where he kind of pulls away and he gains some ground. But when it comes to the turns, surprisingly, that big LS BRZ, Jensen does have some turning capability. So Highcutter now almost getting up. Okay, now we got lappers. This changes the whole scenario, because there has to be some strategy here, and who is going to do what.
Yeah, and where you make your passes, where you make your moves. Is Highcutter getting too deep again? Here comes Jensen back to the inside at turn 3. Still side by side. 370 versus LSFRS.
So the racecraft of Highcutter being shown off here, and Jensen challenging him quite a bit.
This is unbelievable racing.
Really well done by that Steel and Nissan Z. You saw a little correction there going in. Now you have to think, you know, keeping the tires together, but mind you, we have less than 3 minutes left. This is a timed race. You'll see the white flag. Obviously that means last lap, and then you'll see the checker.
All right, this battle has begun to fizzle in the background, working up around turn number 9. Now, Highcutter still holds the fastest lap of the race, and he is still jetting away. Here's Julio Crispin, Hans Horpedal, Jeremy Boysen, all going side by side. That's dicey West Pace in the middle of all that as well. In the 767 for Red Eye Racing, Nick Steniford trailing in the white S2K, and scrap back here. This is fantastic.
You can see just the time difference here between 3rd and 4th. If Highcutter holds on to this position, I think that is just a successful move on his whole behalf and his racecraft. But Swenson, look at how much time he has on Smedegaard, who really had a great effort out of the gate. But what do you think went south?
Again, I think,
was it the tires? Is it just Swenson overpowering?
It could. I think Swenson's just got his car dialed. I think this is similar to what we saw yesterday with O'Gorman. Again, I think the tires have a lot to do with it. But here's Jeremy Boysen again. We talked about his trip here to the racetrack. Had a steer tire blowout on the toter home, almost rolled the thing over, got here to the racetrack, got this new race car on the road, and here he is battling for position with Julio Crispin back here. This is a little bit outside the top 10, but these guys having just as much fun as those up front.
Yeah, great looking Cayman, great looking vehicle right there, and it's great to see that came out unscathed.
Just ahead of them was Fiona Liu. There's, I think, Jake Jornstad at the bottom of the screen. Might be Felipe Gonzalez, but back to Boysen, back to Julio Crispin. This is all for 13th place. Fiona Liu, by the way, up to 12th. A great climb for her in the 888 car.
Somebody pulling off there into the pit area. Don't think it was a contender.
I think it's Hilo, Michael Hilo, potentially, in the 350Z. So I'm not exactly sure what that could have been, but it has sidelined that car for now as Boysen continues to battle Crispin. Hans Horpedal watching in the background as we get under a minute remaining here, expecting white flag very, very soon.
Remember, this is GLTC Race 3. We have one more race for the glory, 4 accumulative races, different chopping it up, different scenarios for each race. But as Highcutter zooms by, and there we can see Jensen and Lavoie, 5th and 6th.
There's some other battles happening in the infield there. There's Jackson Jensen and Joel Morrison door-to-door there as they sweep on through. And in the background, Fiona Liu under fire from Jeremy Boysen. Those two scrapping at it. We get the white flag this time through, so it is the final lap of the race here at PPIR, race number 3.
Last lap. All right, so Swenson just dominant. Can he make it a perfect sweep? There is the white flag. And we've seen our top 5 drivers, top 6 drivers rip through. And Swenson and that Viking Purple People Eater Corvette. Is he going to hold up the number 3 in memoriam of his pops who ran that number $100 race cars? He now rocks the number 30 because he's multiplying it. He's multiplying his victories, and he's doing all here at PPIR. Can he make it a perfect event?
Yeah, weekend sweeps used to be rare. Tom O'Gorman made them commonplace, but Jeremy Swenson, again for the 3rd time this weekend, is going to go to victory lane at Pikes Peak International Raceway. Sweeps it so far here this weekend. The Hawk Performance checkered flag is out. Put the brakes on the race. Smedegaard, 2nd place. As we go back and watch Boysen, O'Gorman, 3rd place. Highcutter up to 4th, and Jensen, Lavoie, Jackson Jensen, Jake Jornstad, Tyler Starr, Joel Morrison the rest of your top 10. But here again is Jeremy Boysen. He's gotten by Fiona Liu in the last lap or two and bringing his Porsche Cayman around to finish up his race. Another great scrap. Look at this jam up behind Julio Crispin and Troy Castile. Troy's a lap down. Wes Case is going to go 3 wide. That's not going to work.
We're almost 4 wide.
Woo!
Look at this.
Look out. That's a tight
Diving
squeeze.
in. Oh, man.
A little bit of a touch there, I think, on the outside. I think Crispin might have gotten, oh, that was Robert Vierhout, by the way, that might have gotten a piece of that. But by the way, they come back to the checkers, and now they get a chance to breathe.
Yeah, man, we get a chance to breathe. What phenomenal racing there. How it started, you know, we're going 3, 4 wide up there on that first turn, that big, as you call it, the NASCAR turn, and then just diving in. There he is, holding up the 3. That is 3 in a row for the number 30. Congratulations to Swenson, that Viking Corvette. He does it again, but there's one more race that, let's call it what it is. It's for the hardware, it's for the podium.
It certainly is going to be a fun one. And remember, we do our field invert. I haven't gotten the number yet, Jared, but when we get the number, we'll let you know on the live stream. Might be before the actual race kicks off, but it's going to be a field invert. So I would expect anywhere between Zach Lavoie and maybe Joel Morrison to get the invert as we end the race here. We'll have a look as the cars come on down to pit lane and wrap things up here from race 3 from PPIR. Track Battle's up next. Don't go anywhere. Then we'll have a short break. We'll be back with Grip Drift, and then we'll finish things off with GLTC race number 4 to end the broadcast. Again, Jeremy Swenson gets it done. Andy Smedegaard, Tom O'Gorman, and Brian Heitkotter, the rest of the top 4. Jared, that was a blast.
Dude, absolutely. Thank you so much. That was really fun, really great racing, and this is just another testimonial to, you know, you love your job for one, and you do such a great job, so thank you for having me here. But more importantly, some great talent, some really good racing, and just a variety of it all. The potpourri from the vehicles to the tires to strategy and to this very unique track. A testimonial to GLTC for just being some exciting, gosh darn racing.
That was, I mean, the mid-pack stuff was great. The back of the pack stuff was great. We know that. The front of the pack stuff was also great, but you have to feel for Brian Heitkotter.
Yeah.
He had the pace to win, and it just took one mistake, and we don't even know if it's really a mistake. Again, he's been fighting that brake issue all weekend long.
All year long.
But, yeah, it's been a struggle so far. But let's go head down to Cerise and check in on Jeremy Swenson.
All right, Jeremy, just a quick question for you. What appetizers are you serving at Gapplebee's? Because you absolutely dominated that race. How are you feeling right now?
I feel good, although it was the other way around basically all season. So,
Wishing you, congratulations. Have fun. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cerise.
Gappelby.
Gappelby.
I mean, wings. I mean, you love it. I mean, you talk about it. We use metaphors like, you know, again, just you know, drag race. You know, run what you brung, and then of course Cerise introduces Gapplebee's, which is a great popular terminology of he gapped him. But did he? I mean, you know, it was good. It was a fight, and just overall, I think it's great, man. It's absolutely insane. So we can see Heitkotter, his team down there, Swenson pulling over to his pits. You know, what's going through the guys' minds?
Well, I think race number 4 is going to be an interesting one because Jeremy Swenson will not start first where he finished. He will start somewhere else. We'll see how it is. Look at Joel Morrison scrapping out a top 10 in that. Tyler Starr, a top 10 as well. Jake Jornstad, notable climb up into 8th place for him. Zach Lavoie again. And how about Fiona Liu, Jeremy Boysen, Julio Crispin? They had a great fight there with Hans Horpedal and Steniford at the end. Wes Case snuck on through for his 16th. Colton Wade, Savannah Little, Brandon Peterson all getting into the mix there in the bottom half of the top 20. But just really, really good stuff in our Valvoline session rundown.
Thank you so much. We have an action-packed day here, and going into the night, this is, you know, kind of game day for us as the party continues. You can see how crowded the paddock is getting, and you can see the car show, again, from static to on the track. Party on track, party off track. The party continues here at GRIDLIFE.
All right, we'll see you for Track Battle here in a couple of minutes. We'll be right back. Coverage of GRIDLIFE Alpine Horizon is brought to you by Valvoline, the official motor oil of GRIDLIFE. And by Momo, made in Italy since 1964. FCP Euro, every part you buy is guaranteed for life. eBay Motors, let's ride. Falcon Tires, the Falcon Azenas RT660 is the official tire of Club TR. And K&N, Performance Unlimited.
At 303, we're always chasing perfection.
Protect your ride with graphene nano spray coating. Now, boost protection, shine, and slickness with Graphene Detailer. Level up your detailing game. Harness the power of graphene with 303.
Ed Vance here, and I'm at my favorite place again.
Sorry, did you say your name is Ed Vance?
That's me.
Like advance?
Crazy, right? And it just so happens he knows everything in advance.
Oh, you know the future? Did you know I needed 10W30?
No. I just know everything here in Advance Auto Parts, like where the 10W30 is.
So you don't know what I'll do next?
Actually, I do. You will be going to the oil aisle.
He's good.
He's Ed Vance.
I spent a lot of time here.
He's here a lot.
This is how we advance.
The more power you have, the more grip you have, the more you push the limits, the more stopping power you need. Get race-proven technology. Hawk Performance.
Hey, we still on this weekend for a little?
You know it. I'm in desperate need of some.
What about you, Jim?
No, my sister's getting the wedding. She's getting married, so.
When adventure calls, make sure you're ready to answer. Stable 360 ethanol treatment is specifically formulated for year-round use, so your engines will be ready when you are. Ready, willing, stable.
We've been powering the American road since before it was paved. Our first breakthrough in motor oil was introducing it. And we've been reinventing it ever since. From the world's first high-mileage oil to the world's first synthetic blend. There are those who change with the times, and those who drive them. Valvoline, the original motor oil.
Those who don't settle when others do. For those who are set free by performance and believe innovation can take you anywhere.
Into the speed trap for Ferris Cartoony, 183, and sets a blistering new track record. GRIDLIFE Track Battle is back at Pikes Peak International Raceway for our afternoon sessions here. The last one that we're going to broadcast here this weekend. And it's GRIDLIFE Track Battle Time Attack. On track now, Group A. Kyle Heyer joined by DJ Alessandrini. DJ, welcome aboard. Thanks for saving me here this weekend. I know,
thanks for having me.
Adam Nielsen was supposed to do this today, but he had a sore throat, so I brought DJ in because he never has a sore throat.
My throat feels great.
I bet it does. So you have a podcast of your own.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to plug that, Lizard Brains.
Let's plug it.
Lizard Brains should be on everything. We got Ferris. How do you say his last name?
Kartoumi.
Kartoumi. This is already starting.
Yeah. Ferris Kartoumi is on track right now. Currently second this weekend in Unlimited. So here he comes up off of the corner and completes this flying lap. What will it be for Ferris Kartoumi across the line here? What will he run down? A 53.941. And I am fairly certain, yes, it will be the fastest lap of the weekend.
By like a lot.
Yeah.
That was his fastest by 3 seconds so far. So yeah, huge jump in time from Ferris there.
So into the infield, Ferris will go again. Now, he's been running more than one lap. Typically in the past, he's only run one lap at a time. But now he's running longer and longer. I think he's got Michelin slicks now. So they take a couple laps to work up to temperature.
All right, I'm curious what Robert Thorne's going to do, because that's a factory, basically, time attack car.
Yeah, GT2 RS is what it is, and it's really good.
Well, Kyle, it looks just like a video game if you look inside.
Yeah, it's really super cool.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's probably not going to be Ferris Kartoumi fast.
Yeah,
probably.
Somehow a GT2 RS is way down on power compared to Ferris.
He went faster, 53.097 that time.
Oh man, he's just getting started.
Wow, that was unbelievable, and it looks like he bailed off the throttle that time through. 53.097. There is Dalton Klein and his Corvette, spinning things up. The number 206 in track modified.
I like it with the black aerodynamic. It looks mean. It looks like it should be a villain in a movie.
By the way, how about new track record for Ferris Kartoumi? 53.097 versus a 53.233 that he ran last season. So Ferris just broke the track record.
There you go. And it's not like the track got any better. So this is
it's definitely has
it's
not.
just Ferris.
But Ferris has again continued to improve. It's cool and cold today. I think that had a lot to do with it. And a really impressive lap. Robert Thorne runs second right now in the unlimited category. His best lap of the weekend was a 57.540. So he has also gone quicker this session.
Yeah, I think these are probably ideal conditions. I always find that the racetrack is the quickest right after it dries off for whatever reason. I don't know if that's track temps or for whatever reason. It always seems like if the track's wet and then the next session you go out and that's the dry session, that tends to be the fastest session. So I expect a lot of times for a lot of drivers to be their personal best in this particular session.
Add Mike Amick to the list, 58.248. That's an improvement on his 58.289. And in terms of track records, street modified all-wheel drive is a 58.432 set by Sean Krebsbach. Well, Amick broke that record the other day. He broke it again today. This is Adam LZ, by the way.
Okay, cool. You guys should see Kyle right now. He's juggling like 3 screens and
all the tabs. So many tabs. I wanted to not be as many tabs.
Kyle's making it work with 2 monitors, but he needs like 5.
Yes. I have 3 at home, and I could use about another 7 or 8.
Sometimes I feel like that, too, in the office.
Yeah, but across the line for Adam LZ, running pretty competitively, 59.799. His best time this morning was over a minute, I thought, a minute 1.324, so he's gone sub 1 minute now.
All right, so break down the colors on the left side for me.
Yeah, let's bring up we have a graphic for this that Eric will bring up, so we'll bring up the legend for you. There it is. No Super Unlimiteds here, but Unlimited is red, Track Modified is orange, Street Modified teal, then Street GT in the gold, then Street in blue, Falcon Club TR in gray, and then Falcon Sunday Cup in the pink. We'll see those other categories in the upcoming sessions.
Right, okay, all right. I know Unlimited. I've never seen Super Unlimited. I feel like 1,400 horsepower Corvette would be Super Unlimited. What would be in Super?
So Super Unlimited, I think, is like factory-built race cars.
Well, wouldn't that be Robert's car then? You're saying
I mean, like if
LMP?
someone brought like an LMP1 or like a Porsche 911 Cup car, that would go in Super Unlimited.
All right. That being said, hey, LMP1 owner listening to this,
DJ wants a ride.
I just want you to bring it out. I think that would be cool.
It would be cool. And the thing, we've had Super Unlimited cars in the past. I think back at Road America last year, we had a couple of those old ASA stock cars.
Yeah.
And those fit in that category. They're tube frame, purpose built, that sort of thing. Here's Amick going for a while.
big moment for Amick heading into the infield. He went through the right-hander. And the car got a little away from him and didn't even go out to the edge of the track. So he definitely lost time in that particular moment there. So he's probably going to gear up for another one.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame that, of course, with Alex Moss having his issue yesterday, we're not really going to see the street mod battle that we thought we were going to have. Despite the issue, Moss still has a 59.765, so he's just ahead of Adam LZ right now if he were on that leaderboard. So you have to throw in...
Speaking of Adam.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
So, yeah. Oh, that's normally not good.
Well, it was doing that a little yesterday. I'm not saying it was good. I'm just saying it has been doing it for at least 24 hours. So it might make it another 20 minutes.
It's not good, but it's not imminent death. Well, it's not immediate death.
Yes, here's Corey Ross in track modified. Right now behind Graham and Dalton Klein. Corey Ross's best time, a 1:01.515. So he's a little off of that from this morning, which was surprising because this might have been a yesterday time because this morning was pretty dreary and cold.
This event's so cool, Kyle, because there's so many cars that you normally don't see because these are all like the middle of the country West Coast cars.
Yep.
That, I mean, it would be such a trek for them to come out to any of the events that you normally see in the Midwest, East Coast area that GridLife normally goes to. So seeing like that, has that car been to any of the Midwest events before?
I don't know if it's been to the Midwest events. We've seen it before. I just have to point out, have a look at the leaderboard right now. 7th and 8th place. That's your Street GT podium battle by 1/1000th of a second.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's pretty close. And so, yeah, that's Andy Vocal in the C8. And then do you know what Luca's driving?
It's a Ford Mustang, a GT
Ford Mustang
350, I believe. And so here's the thing about, for neither of them, I don't think it's either their fastest laps of the weekend, but just in this session, how close they are tells you a lot. Yeah, Street GT, Luca was a 1:01.961. That was his previous best, so Luca now is a 1:01 flat, essentially. Andy Vocal's best time was a 1:01.2. So Vocal's still leading overall this weekend, but the fact that they're that close in this session is really cool.
Hopefully they're bump traffic.
I think that'd be great. We'll see that in Sunday Cup later.
Are they pushing each other?
I wish they would.
Okay.
It's a challenge.
All right, Sunday Cup drivers, I know you're listening to this in paddock right now. I need some bump drafts for this broadcast.
Let's do it. Dalton Klein getting after it again in track modified. So far this weekend in track mod, Dalton is leading in that category over Corey Ross. Dalton right now is best of 59.812, so he's a little off of his best so far this weekend.
Really staying off of these curbs right now. It seems like, what's happening here?
A little wide there for Ross in turn 3. Yeah, it's a little awkward over there.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate for that LS7 Porsche. The back of it says LS7 RS. So I'm assuming there's a V8 of some sort.
Yeah, that'd be a safe bet.
Right, unless there's some engine code.
Everyone at GridLife treat cars like Legos. No one can just leave it alone and drive it as
because
let's just jam a V18 in there.
We like pain. The easy thing would be to buy. The easy thing would be to buy a Porsche GT2 RS. That would be the easy thing, and then you don't have to. You know, a factory car that could do laps forever. That would be the easy thing. Hey, I got to operate the impact gun that puts the center lug thing on. I got my Formula 1 on. Kyle, we're gonna have you take a wheel off. Like, it was pretty cool.
Oh boy, DJ's gonna be a pit crew member now.
I'm like hooked. I'm like, how do I get an F1?
You'd be the best. You'd be the best pit crew guy because you're so obsessed with being the best that you'd be like practicing 28 hours a day.
Move over, sim rig. I got my impact rig. Oh my God.
Oh, that'd be great.
My SO would leave me.
Oh boy. All right. Well, Track Battle A continues on track right now. Expecting a checkered flag relatively soon. We'll move on into our Falcon Club TR battles, which I'm really excited about. We've got Peter Granberg, Dana Bazinski kind of trading blows this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's been really close all weekend, and Peter's car really is coming into its own. He got a podium at Midwest Fest. It's another K-Swap BRZ, very similar to Dana's, and really they're kind
cool.
of
They're going back and forth? Cool.
A little bit.
How's Fez doing?
Fez is...
he probably has the prettiest Club TR.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The color is probably my favorite of the group, but Fez right now in Club TR is behind Austin Getz. Oh, no, I lied. Fez is on here twice.
Guys.
Oh, I know, because one of the laps... One of the laps is from when he cut the track yesterday. Did you see the pictures of that?
No.
Oh, I have to pull this up.
Okay, here we go.
I have to pull this up.
Can you like airdrop it to the broadcast?
No, I'll hold it in front of the booth cam.
We're going to describe it like it's a podcast.
No, we're going to hold it in front of the booth cam when I pull it up.
Oh, okay,
That's what we're
that
gonna
works
do.
too.
We're going to do some really sketchy things here.
Oh, that guy's hand out of the car. Don't black flag him.
All right, here we go. Whoop, there's some memes. Here we go. There's the limit.
All right, there is a limit there somewhere.
All right, yep. Okay, here let's pull up this on the booth cam here. Here we go. There's Fez. Fez is my buddy, so I'm allowed to roast him here. But there racetrack's over there.
I promise you, it's in focus on the phone.
Yes,
not in
that guy needs a track.
Yeah. You know what? If you don't do that once, are you even trying?
Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Well, he did it 3 or 4 times.
Oh,
but
okay, well,
look, and then he was like, because he watched Tom's track guide on
Yeah.
PPIR, and Tom's like, you just take all the curbing.
And he's like,
and
well,
Fez's like, all right, let's do it.
I'm going to take all the curbing.
All right, there is the number 56 car on track. That driver is in our unlimited category, and driver name is Jake Graham. It's actually, it's track modified car this weekend. The Subaru WRX.
That car's smoking when it's on power too.
It's a Subaru, of course.
That might just be like a 4-wheel drive. I think those are ringlands flying out the back of the car.
Oh boy, little raindrops on the.
Yeah, what is this? Is it raining out there?
Do we have any reports? Oh, it must be. Production guys, do we have any reports of rain on the racetrack?
Hold on,
it's
raining.
raining.
It's raining. Oh, bummer. Okay, well, we know we're still going to see shenanigans with Sunday Cup. I don't know if we're going to see the Club TR guys going out there and doing hooligan stuff.
I'm not really sure. While we got a second, let's take a look at our eBay Motors track preview, DJ. Get an overhead look at this racetrack. Have you driven here before at all? Have you had a chance?
No.
Well, let's take you through. I've ridden around here, so
Okay.
we'll take you through a lap here of the eBay Motors track preview in just a moment. And here's a look at it. So it's 1.3 miles, 9 corners. I don't know why they don't count NASCAR 2 as a corner, but we'll just go with that. Down the front straightaway into the banked corner at turn 1. Carry that speed, top gear, all the way to turn 2. It's just a kink. As soon as that car gets straight, hard on the brakes into turn 3, almost a 180-degree turn, a little bit shallower than that. Then you head to turn 4, and then it's a series of second gear hairpins.
Yeah, it almost looks like from 5 to 9 is almost like an autocross element, but like in third gear. And you're really just backsiding all those corners until you get the 9, so you get a nice, good entry onto that oval part. But because of the banking, it's almost like a super long straightaway. I only saw a couple drivers lifting, and that was really only for there's a giant bump in the middle of turn 1. That drivers seem to be there's difference of opinions on how to handle that. Some people YOLO it over the bump, and then other people just stay high to avoid that one particular bump. That bump is that's kind of what happened to Alex Moss earlier this week.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why that bump existed, and it was explained to me, and I was like, of course, because there's actually there's a tunnel where you drive in the racetrack, and when they built the racetrack, the pavement was just kind of laid over all the surface underneath it, and so the tunnel, the surface between the tunnel and the racetrack is sunk. And so it's not a bump like at Sebring you have bumps. It's not like that. I guess the frequency of the bump, when you talk about frequency, very quick short bumps versus long dips, it really is but where it starts, the peak to valley is probably a couple feet. So when you go over it, it's not like you're going boom, boom over the top of it. You go into this bump and back out the other side.
And then jump back out, yeah. So it's your car gets light, it goes into the dip, and then it bottoms out. That's, whose is this?
So
I've seen this car before.
Is one of our Toyota Supras. This is the 469. Rich behind the wheel of this Toyota GR Supra. Yep, and getting after it here into the infield section. And up on top of the curbs, and
he got a little out of shape, so now he's behind for this corner. So this is going to be a retry here coming up onto the front straight, which you see him turning left into there right now.
Yep.
We saw a glimpse of Dana. There's Faz in that yellow GR86. Is there a Focus R out there?
Yeah, Brad Riemann in his Focus RS.
All right.
He's out here. He's joined us a handful of times before.
Is there a Skyline right behind him?
Oh, yes, that is Dustin Williams.
Okay.
In his, no, it's not a Sky.
That's a Skyline.
It is a Skyline. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
I got confused.
This is, look, guys, Club TR is basically Gran Turismo.
It's pretty much
it. You go and do like a Gran Turismo lobby. This is what it looks like. You got FRSs, Focus RSs, GR86. Yeah, this is cool.
It is cool, and Club TR, again, we always talk about it as one of GridLife's kind of internal classes, right? Because there's classes that come from, they take parts of rule sets from other series so that you can kind of jump in and not have to do a whole lot. Street Modified, Track Modified, Unlimited. But the internal GridLife classes, Street GT, Falcon Club TR, Falcon Sunday Cup, those are classes that GridLife created ground up, and they are some of the most kind of taken to classes in the GridLife track battle.
Yeah, I mean, it just fits in a good spot in the speed, like the speed dynamic of cars to tracks and cost.
Two of the three classes, Sunday Cup and Street GT, you really can't do a lot to the car, which I like because you don't have to go dive in and spend 100 million trillion gazillion dollars on making your car super low to the ground and all this.
Well, also then it's just you kind of can just buy a fast car, do some reliability modifications to it,
and be good.
Just go lap it.
Or you can buy a slow car and like Sunday Cup.
Or you can buy a brand new car like Fez.
So windshield wipers are on now. Here's the thing about Falcon Sunday Cup. Everyone's on Falcon RT660 tires. And, well, they better hope that tread has got plenty of groove in it for rain because it's about to get really spicy out there.
If you can get those 660s in the temperature, they're perfectly fine in the wet. It's the issue is getting them in the temperature. But you got to get a lot of load into them on the banking.
Yeah, that should help.
So, like, that should help a lot, yeah. And you have that really long braking zone into turn 3.
And here
that's cool. I bet Adam Jabay loves that
He
car.
does. That's Daniel Moore in Street Modified.
Looks like it. It looks
Civic
like it's
hatch.
handling well and doing the things.
It is handling well and doing the things. As they come up off the banking onto the front straightaway, here comes the Toyota GR Supra, Rich Enriquez.
Can we get lap times up on the screen so I can have an idea of the?
There we are. Look at that.
Honestly, they're still running pretty fast.
Yeah,
it must not be too wet out there.
Well, it's about to be. You can see the rain in the air now.
I'm going to jinx it by looking at the radar.
Well, too late. Tom Merlin on track. That is the pink Acura NSX that you've seen on track this weekend in track modified. 102.304. Beck in another track modified car. 225 car. 103.522. Here's Mike Coons on track. All-wheel drive ain't going to hurt in the rain.
No, it's gonna be really wide. Stays on track. Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh man, that thing is so cool.
Yeah, I've seen this car at a handful of time attack competitions, even outside of GRIDLIFE, and Tom Merlin takes this thing to the top in many of them, and it just looks really, really good. The NSX is such a classic supercar look. It really is.
That almost looks like what's the
Barbie car?
You can find them on YouTube, GT Motoring or Best Motoring or. Oh man, there's so many people freaking out at their TV right now. I think it's Best Motoring. We're like, it was like a Japanese show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that car screamed whatever that show was that I'm blanking on only because I'm on a microphone.
Here's Fez navigating the infield section now, and up and over the curves.
Let's see. Come on.
That car kind of does it look composed over the curb?
No, it seemed to be bouncing a lot, honestly.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed that yesterday.
Well, that curb kind of has like two. You almost don't want to take that much on that curb because it looks like it goes up, dips in the middle, and then comes back up.
Yep.
And I don't care what kind of suspension you have on your car. There's no car that's going to be happy with undulations caused by the surface.
It's got some jounce to it to bring in a physics term.
Are we making up words?
No, it's a real word. But I have to Google it. Jounce.
Jounce. Oh.
The car jounced
Jolt or
wildly.
bounce. Okay. All right. Kyle's over here studying dictionaries
in physics. To move in an up and down manner. Bounce. Jounce.
That's jounce.
That's a real thing.
That's a thing.
I got a C in physics.
You sure that's not like Urban Dictionary?
So Fez got the wipers going on the 610 GR86. Now let's talk about this platform because obviously the first gen car wildly popular in autocross, but this particular car fits pretty nicely into our Falcon Club TR category. If you look at average horsepower levels in this category, I think Rat Davidson is in the 220, 230 range maybe. So this car dynos stock at about 205 to 210 wheel horsepower.
Yeah, I don't know how much more power you're going to be able to get out of that that engine itself.
Well, you'd swap it, put a K in it, like Dana Basinski did.
Yeah, but it's like, it's a new car.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to K-swap the world.
Yeah, whoa, look at Dana getting after
going
it.
for it. He's like, these windshield wipers are on, and so is my aggression.
Yeah, he's on it now, and look at him sweeping and sliding through the infield.
Might be a little bit behind onto the banking.
Yeah, I wonder what his best time so far this weekend for Dana has been a 102.360, and he just ran a 102.663, so he's not that far off from going quicker.
Do you think everyone just forgot to turn their windshield wipers off?
Maybe. No. I mean, he didn't go quicker that time through.
Hold on, Kyle. I'm opening up the tent door. We're going to see what it looks like out
you're
here.
tethered to the,
Yep, I know.
Is it raining?
It's raining.
All right, well, they didn't forget to turn their wipers off. Peter Gramberg out there, 103.600. So talking about that Club TR battle.
I mean, Tom Merlin just did a 101.8 in the rain.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. But so Club TR, Dana's got a 102.360. Peter's got a 103.020, so 7/10. But for a little while, they were only half a tenth apart this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of bummed that it's raining right now because we could have saw some. And also, this is my first time to Colorado, and I still haven't seen a mountain. because it's been raining all day.
That's a bummer. It's really spectacular.
I'm flying out tomorrow morning. If I
Oh.
go to Colorado and I don't see a single mountain, I'm going to feel like I missed out.
That's a bummer.
I heard it's like people keep, oh, it's right over there, like behind.
Behind the clouds.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, I believe you that there's a mountain in that general vicinity, but I haven't seen one.
All right, so apparently Dana's on new tires too, so that probably isn't hurting. But again, with the track conditions probably worsening right now, I don't think it's going to get a whole lot out of it. Looking down the rest of the list, how about Drew Cleaver? I was asking yesterday to Abe, because I guess we didn't know this, but Drew's car is the rear-wheel drive Tesla Model 3, where Tony Barber's is the all-wheel drive. I was going, why are they different? Why are they so far apart? Well, one's a rear-wheel drive, one's an all-wheel drive.
It also depends on what firmware they have.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
So Drew's, he opened the hood because he has a hood vent in it. He goes, does that do anything? He goes, well, it's allowed in the rules. So
wait. Just so I'm definitely following along.
Yeah.
His electric car has a hood vent.
Yes. And you open the hood, there's almost nothing in it.
Is it like, I mean, he still has the flat floor from factory.
Yeah.
There's no like.
Well,
lift
so
in the
actually,
hood.
there's these little rubber caps that go on top of where the suspension is, like where the upper control arm is. So you remove that, and then there's actually airflow from under where the wheel well is. So air can go in the wheel well and out the top of the hood that way.
I don't know if that's better or not.
I don't know if it is
I'm
either.
not an aerodynamicist.
But he was like, it's in the rules, I'm allowed, so I put it on.
Okay, all right. Is it like the stereotypical like Mustang hood vent?
It's a track spec. It's a big one. It's like if we get
does
a
it
shot.
kind of look like the ASM?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he on track?
I don't know. If he's a white Tesla Model 3, so if that car's on track, let us know. But it was interesting. I asked, if the all-wheel drive car with the dual motors would probably benefit more. Here he is. So great work by the camera crew.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's like the same. That looks like the same vent that's on the ASM cars in GLTC.
Yeah. So it's a track spec vent, but
I love
it. But you open up and there's nothing in there.
I love it so much.
But so I think the all-wheel drive car might benefit because I'm sure those motors generate a lot of heat. They have coolers and things in them.
Yeah.
They have oil in them. I learned that. That's a thing. I promise.
I looked at you like I was skeptical.
Yeah, no. I was working out with Valvoline on a sim execution a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about the fluids they make for Teslas. I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
okay.
But they have coolers.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. So, like, what's the logistics behind? Like, is there like a big diesel generator in the paddock that's like charging these guys as Teslas, or did they find a place to plug in? Or?
Yeah, I think they got power spots and they're just plugged in with an adapter to the track power. And hello, who that be?
Kyle just broke.
The 225. I'm so glad you're here, DJ.
Production, send in another Kyle. This one's broken.
Oh, God, I hope it doesn't get Twitch clipped.
Now it's definitely getting clipped.
The 225 car, that's Matt Beck in track mod in his Nissan Silvia.
Wow.
Getting after
we
it.
just went into the drift session.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, this car is the bounciest.
Yeah. Well, he's getting after it. This isn't a Silvia. This
He literally put horns out as he turned in. He's memeing. That's it.
He saw the camera guy.
No, he was going into the pits. He was going into the pits.
Okay.
He wasn't memeing.
Well, that too. I hope everyone behind him got the message.
Oh, I thought he was memeing.
Checkered flag. Group B, Tomerlin top of the board at 101.666.
You know, Kyle, that's always a good feeling when you come into the pits and then you see the checkered. You're like, perfect.
I planned it.
Calculated.
Mike Coons, how about that? The 3:10. What was his best time? A 1:02.271. So he has gone quicker in the rain.
In the rain. Well, Kyle, it must.
Okay, so here's
maybe it's like because it's like a mist out there.
I will bet that this track is slipperier when it's hot than it is when it's wet because I bet this pavement is very porous and probably just lets water right through.
Maybe, but did you? So I was scootering. In the paddock,
as one does,
and I'm scootering along. I got my scooter foot, and I got to wet pavement, and I almost ate it.
Okay, well,
just scooter.
Was it oily wet pavement or just wet?
It was just wet. Well, I didn't like take laboratory analysis to it or anything, but like it was dry. I'm scootering with my left foot, and then I got to a wet spot, and I like slipped and like almost hurt myself, and then had somebody come over and help me up like I'm an old man or something.
I bit my tongue yesterday, while eating dinner, and it bled for 2 hours. I was like, how did I damage the one thing that matters?
Yeah. Did you get butterfly stitches in your tongue?
No, but I probably should have. It was. I can still feel where it was. So
Let's see it.
This is weird. I don't like doing this.
Let's turn that camera back on.
Yeah,
and
no, let's not do that.
Kyle's tongue.
All right, we got Group C coming up next, and again, we're kind of just hanging out, waiting for the Sunday Cup boys. We'll see if we get some records in Group C to take down, but schedule for the rest of the day while we're sitting here waiting for the next cars on track. Up next, we've got Group C, then Group D, then it'll be a little bit of a break before our Grip Drift Taxi sessions. We will broadcast about 20 minutes to a half hour of those, and we'll head into GLTC Race 4 to finish off our break.
The taxi session, is that the everything session?
That's the everything session.
Oh, those are fun.
It's the best.
Those honestly, oh, see, now it looks, this is just the rain cam. I think it's like angled slightly up for dramatic effect.
Yeah, well, it's certainly raining. So we might not actually see a lot of takers in this next session. So I'm hearing a nope. So I think that means that we might, DJ, we might call this here. I think that there's going to not be a lot of takers.
I saw people on the grid.
Well, let's see. What do we got?
I like those pants. Whoever had those. Did you see the black and white
No, I
striped
missed
pants?
it.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't think we can move this camera, so it's gone forever.
Nice puddle there, though, huh?
Yeah.
That's in the paddock.
See.
Is that what you wiped out on?
Well, that looks like just mud. I think that's supposed to be asphalt, but look at all those clean sneakers somehow. These guys, they must be cleaning them every other second.
Just got here. They're ready for the festivities.
I love the reflection off the water. That was
Majestic.
beautiful. Yeah, those guys' calves were killing it.
Yeah. All right. Well,
that's the vendor area.
Yeah, it's packed.
It is bustling.
Hustling and bustling. I think we're going to wrap this up, though. Not a lot of takers here for this session in Group C and Group D. So we're going to come back with our Grip Drift Taxi sessions at around 4:30 later today. So if you're, well, that's 4:30 Mountain. So about an hour and a half from now, we'll be back with more. But for now, that's DJ Alessandrini, Kyle Heyer alongside you. We'll see you later for Grip Drift and GLTC Race number 4. Coverage of GridLife Alpine Horizon is brought to you by Valvoline, official motor oil of GridLife. Momo, made in Italy since 1964. FCP Euro, every part you buy is guaranteed for life. eBay Motors, let's ride. Falcon Tires, the Falcon Azenis RT660 is the official tire of Club TR. And K&N, Performance Unlimited.
At 303, we're always chasing perfection. Protect your ride with graphene nanospray coating. Now, boost protection, shine, and slickness with Graphene Detailer. Level up your detailing game. Harness the power of graphene with 303.
Ed Vance here, and I'm at my favorite place again.
Sorry, did you say your name is Ed Vance?
That's me.
Like advance?
Crazy, right? And it just so happens he knows everything in advance.
Oh, you know the future? Did you know I needed 10W30?
No. I just know everything here in Advanced Auto Parts, like where the 10W30 is.
So you don't know what I'll do next?
Actually, I do. You will be going to the oil aisle.
He's good.
He's Ed Vance.
I spent a lot of time here.
He's here a lot.
This is how we advance.
The more power you have, the more grip you have, the more you push the limits, the more stopping power you need. Get race-proven technology. Hawk Performance.
Hey, we still on this weekend for a little?
You know it. I'm in desperate need of some.
What about you, Jim?
No, my sister's getting the wedding. She's getting married, so.
When adventure calls, make sure you're ready to answer. Stable 360 ethanol treatment is specifically formulated for year-round use, so your engines will be ready when you are. Ready, willing, stable.
We've been powering the American road since before it was paved. Our first breakthrough in motor oil was introducing it. And we've been reinventing it ever since. From the world's first high-mileage oil to the world's first synthetic blend. There are those who change with the times, and those who drive them. Valvoline, the original motor oil.
For those who don't settle when others do. For those who are set free by performance and believe innovation can take you anywhere.